Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so the latest leftist lunatic patch has dropped. They've uploaded the latest angle of outrage. It's not Tesla, it's not Doge, it's not ICE, it's not Iran. No, we're right back to real, a blast from the past. Let's call it the 2018 special, My Kids in Cages. Yeah, here we go again. The left is freaking out over Alligator Alcatraz, and for those who need a little bit of a refresher,
the Miami-Dade Collier training facility. This is an old, virtually abandoned airport facility right in the middle of the Everglades. The governor tasked state leaders to identify places for new temporary detention facilities. I think this is the best one. As I call it, Alligator Alcatraz.
A brand new, clean, humane detention facility for illegal migrants being built right in the Everglades of Florida. And if you've been following the project, you'll notice that it's a very respectable facility. But if you listen to the left, it's a humanitarian catastrophe of epic proportions. Donald Trump is putting poor refugees directly into the swamp with the gators. There's no air conditioning in the sweltering 100-degree heat. Oh man, in other words, the left is straight up lying, just as they always do, just as they told us that Obama's Kids in Cages was actually Donald Trump. Here we freaking go again. The latest gaslight attempt is in full swing. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so let's talk once again about Alligator Alcatraz. The Democrats are now losing their minds about this facility all over social media. They're claiming it's inhumane and environmentally disastrous. And I keep hearing the same thing about air conditioning. This claim from so many leftists all over social media that the facility is hot in central Florida where there's no ocean breeze and people are going to be dying of heat stroke. Then we get a tour of the facility and well...
that can be used for contraband or weapons before the detainees come in.
See what I mean? It's an amazing job.
Our viewers at home should note that this is air-conditioned facility, so if any of the news claims they're keeping them out in the hot, humid South Florida, that is wrong. It's probably 62 degrees here.
To be honest. Hey, Biden wanted me in here, okay? He wanted me. It didn't work out that way.
Yeah, it turns out it's not some swampy hellhole. It's a modern detention facility designed to handle massive influx of illegal immigrants. Wait for it, humanely and efficiently. Yeah. Yet, of course, the left is spinning it as some sort of torture chamber. Because once again, they can't stand the idea of Donald Trump actually doing his damn job. And it's taking me right back to 2019, remember? They told us the detainment centers at the southern border were inhumane, remember? Then it turned out that the kids there that were being separated from the adults that they were found with at the border, those that they couldn't confirm were their parents, in other words, the kids that were being saved from potential human smuggling rings, it turns out they weren't being held in inhumane, terrible facilities, but rather in relatively nice facilities where they had food, toiletries, PlayStations, and Xboxes. Yeah, you pretty much get the gist of it. It was a hotel experience, except for, let's say, the sleeping conditions. But the left once again tried to make this claim that they were essentially concentration camps. Well, now it's the same damn thing. And once again, the freakout is proof of the left's inability to handle anything, any issue relating Trump, without lying or attempting to build some phony manufactured scandal or outrage campaign. They can't make actual arguments, they can't win on the merits, and so they just lie and smear and, most importantly, expose themselves as complete and utter hypocrites. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a blast from the past here, because the same Democrats who are making a big deal out of the inhumane conditions at Alligator Alcatraz are the same people who said absolutely nothing when this was happening under Joe Biden's watch.
On Thursday, Intercept reporter Ryan Devereaux and photographer Ash Ponders observed about 50 migrants inside a chain-link pen at the Ajo Border Patrol Station, which is about 2 hours west of Tucson. The migrants could be seen huddling in a small area where there was a bit of shade on a day when temperatures reached 114 degrees in the area.
Last week, I got a tip that the Border Patrol was holding migrants outdoors in some sort of enclosure at the Ajo Border Patrol Station. And this was surprising for two reasons. Anybody who knows anything about the desert in southern Arizona knows that this portion of the desert is as deadly as it gets. And as you mentioned at the top of the show, we are right now experiencing a record-setting and deadly heat wave. And we were able to observe roughly 50 migrants being held in a chain link enclosure under a sort of carport style structure that cast a small strip of shade on the ground. The ground was loose rock. The shade was minimal. People were crowding themselves into the shade that was available shoulder to shoulder. The ground was littered with water bottles. There was one large fan and a misting machine set up, and the only furniture in the pen was a set of bleachers, metal bleachers that were in direct sunlight and appeared to be scorching hot. The fan and the misting machine were pointed in an area with direct sunlight, so they weren't being used. The area that we're talking about where these migrants are being held is as rugged as it gets. It's as remote as it gets. And even under normal conditions in the summer, this is a part of the desert that you absolutely do not trifle with. And under these conditions, with this heat wave, it is otherworldly. It's extraordinarily hot and extraordinarily deadly. And that desert will take your life in no time.
Oh, look at that. An actual humanitarian crisis that was the border crisis they created, and inhumane conditions. Thousands of people in over 100-degree heat during a heat wave, but none of these Democrats ever said a thing. Like I said in the intro, the whole kids in cages phenomenon. Yeah, that narrative only ever applies to Donald Trump, even though the last two Democrat presidents have a 10 times worse track record than this president, and it's not even close. Joe Biden enables the cartels, sends hundreds of thousands of children into unsafe environments, allowing them to be swept up by human traffickers, and the whole while, oh, he's such a kind-hearted president. He's a father. Oh, he's a great father. Every single one of these kids, they're Joe Biden's kids. But Donald Trump actually tries enforcing the law, protecting people, doing the right thing, not only protecting the children who are being smuggled, but protecting American citizens from the national security and public safety nightmare that Joe Biden thrusted upon the nation. And here we have a perfectly acceptable, modern, well-built, ventilated, and air-conditioned facility. And we're right back to the whole it's a concentration camp narrative.
I will be in jail if I see somebody wearing an Alligator Alcatraz shirt or any type of merch. It is a concentration camp, and using that language matters. It is a concentration camp, and we're acting like it's an amusement park. It's disgusting.
It's a concentration camp. No, it's not, dummy. Just like it wasn't in 2019, and no matter how many times you say it, well, it just won't make it true. And really, it's obvious what they're actually doing. This Democrat freakout over Alligator Alcatraz is obviously, yet again, another desperate attempt to distract from their own failures and lies. President Trump is doing what needs to be done, providing humane, efficient solution to the immigration crisis. He's the one doing the humanitarian work. Meanwhile, the Democrats, especially under Joe Biden, are the ones who left illegal aliens in inhumane conditions. The kids in cages narrative was a lie then, and it's a lie now. And Democrats are once again the liars. But that's not exactly the most surprising statement now, is it? Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.